Hello my friends, welcome back to the channel. Today first I will apologize if the lighting is a little wonky because I am filming in my basement. I do have the window open because it smells delicious outside. It smells like fall, so you might hear some cars passing by. You might see a cat or two in the background, but I just wanted to sit down and film this video because it is going to be my 6-month follow-up with you guys, and there is so much information that I have to share. And this is probably going to be 2 sections. I'm probably going to do part 1 right now and then part 2 when I get a few more answers. But for now, I do want to just jump in and release all of this information that I have and all of these changes that I'm going through currently. I want to share it. I was a little hesitant to, just because I don't necessarily want to say that I feel disappointed, but I do feel a little lost at the moment, being 6 months post-op, and I believe this started 2 months ago. So when I was about 4 months post-op, you know that I started having these issues where my weight just kind of stopped and the scale was not moving. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that with you, as well as my 6-month follow-up with my doctor and kind of what they're suggesting that I do. Let's start from the very beginning. I had my 6-month follow-up a couple of days ago, and I've been kind of sitting on this information because I don't know how to really relay it. And I realized today that I don't know what to say because I've never been through this. I don't know what is going on, and maybe this will happen to some of you. Maybe some of you will hit this wall of just not knowing what's going on with the weight loss. And even though I don't have all of the answers right now, I think it's important that I document the emotions and the feelings that I'm going through at this moment because of the uncertainty. And I think that makes it a little bit more relatable. And it took me a minute to actually see that, because I thought, I'm not going to do a video until I know all of the information. And that's silly. It is so silly, because here I am sitting with all of these emotions and questions, and it's not fair to not share that part, because you guys might run into this and those feelings might be real, and you might be looking for someone to relate to it. And I think hopefully finding this video, it will help. So as you know, month 4 is when my weight started to hit a stall, is what I thought. And I mean weight as far as the scale goes. Now, I was measuring with my clothes, measuring with my belly beads, taking pictures, and all of that was definitely tracking movement and progress. I was still very concerned that the scale was just not moving. My pant size would change, my blouse size was changing, but when it came down to the scale, nothing was moving. So I knew that that was going to happen, but I felt like 4 months was a little early for that to happen. So I just kind of sat on it, just trust the process, and waited it all out until I had my 6-month follow-up. So when I met with my care team, I usually meet with all 3 of them on one day. I usually have a body assessment, I have a dietitian appointment, and then I also see my physician assistant. It's usually a pretty busy day, but I get a lot of information and a lot of assistance, a lot of help in understanding what's going on. So when I met with my PA first, I told her, things have come to a stop as far as the scale goes. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I do see some progress, but actually my progress has slowed down. I do feel I am still in a very baggy 12. I still feel my shirts are very much baggy. So I know I'm getting out of a certain size, but it's happening a little slower. So when I met with her, I brought up a few of those issues that I mentioned in my last video, which was the grazing. I have also noticed a bit of head hunger. Now, coming from a spot where I don't even have hunger cues, and then all of a sudden my head hunger starts kicking in, I'm thinking, what in the whole world is going on? My periods have stopped, and I still get really bad cramps, but nothing happens. And I don't really know what's going on with all of it. I'm just kind of noticing these little things that are new and popping up. When I went over everything that I've been going through and how everything has kind of slowed down, she felt that my hormones might be a cause in it. My PCOS might be doing something a little wonky to my body. And because it's not like I've had this drastic amount of weight loss in the very beginning, like some people, my body could still be trying to work out the PCOS and the hormones that go along with it. So I could still have some issues with losing weight because I haven't lost a massive amount of weight to really correct my PCOS. So that was kind of a concern that she had, was I need to really get my hormones checked to see if what weight loss I have had so far, which is just a little over 45 pounds, if that has actually made much of a difference in my hormones. And also she mentioned that that can also tie into this head hunger that I'm having, because you did lose weight. I did lose, over 45 pounds-ish. And so what's happening now is those hormones that have released, that were stored in your fat, they are now in your body. And so with that mixed in with PCOS, something is trying to regulate, and we have no clue really what it is just yet. So because I have hit this stall around 4 months and it was now 6 months, she definitely confirmed that it was a longer than usual stall, and that in order to get the most out of the surgery, that I do have to try something else. And they're really, really focused on me getting to my goal weight, on me getting healthier and regulating my PCOS. So I do appreciate all of their information on this, and I am really just trusting the freaking process. Like, I'm up against this weird PCOS moment of I'm losing weight, but then think some things aren't balancing out because I'm not losing that much weight. So what she wanted to do was to jumpstart this weight loss and hopefully accelerate this PCOS and correcting itself, and knowing that my body needs to do this stuff. So she suggested that I try phentermine. Now, I am not really up to doing phentermine, only because I have a history of high blood pressure. I do awful with stimulants. I even do awful with coffee. Like, it's just not really a good fit for me. Plus, I do have a family history of heart issues, and I don't want to do any of that. I did let her know that I still have a refrigerator full of Ozempic because I was currently taking Ozempic prior to getting surgery. She said, well, if you have the Ozempic, I suggest you use it. Start at 0.25 and kind of see if that helps that head hunger that's starting to happen, and we'll see if it kind of helps in losing some of the weight. So I said, okay, I'm gonna just trust this process. I have it here. I know it's worked. I know I had little to no side effect on Ozempic, while yes, it was prior to VSG. And I was a little concerned, how does that actually work? Because Ozempic is very slow in digesting your food, and then when you only have a little bit of a sleeve, how is that going to work, and how am I going to meet these requirements while still having the small sleeve? So those are some of the questions that I had in myself, and I've actually been on it already for this is going to be the first week, and I can update you on that. I will share how that feels with you guys. If you want me to give you updates now on Ozempic with VSG, please let me know. I can let you know how I eat, how my schedule is now completely changed. This is not a forever thing. I just happen to have the stockpile of Ozempic that I'm gonna use. Thank God it's not gonna go to waste. And then also because it is going to hopefully get my body to catch up with releasing this PCOS, correcting this PCOS. And that is really what we're gonna try to do. So let me just tell you a little bit of how it feels having VSG and now taking Ozempic. It feels like the first 2 months when you first have your surgery and that restriction is really good and really doing its job. it feels like a good day when your restriction is just smaller, right? That's kind of like, we have those days where we can eat a lot more. We have those days where we can't hardly eat anything. It would be more of the days you can hardly eat anything. Like you take a couple of bites and you're full, you're good. So because I am now 6 months post-op, I should be getting in the 1,000 calories. And because of that, when I met with my dietitian, she wants me to do is plump up my diet with high dense calorie foods. And that would really be just adding nut butters, olive oil, doing beans like hummus, making some hummus, and just kind of sneaking that into my diet. And so she says, make your own salad dressings, add some butter, some cashew nuts, some almond nuts, whatever you got. Just put it all inside of there so you can drizzle extra calories over your salads. And then with the morning smoothie, she wants me to start adding nut butters inside of that smoothie with a big load of veggies, which is just kind of like greens. And then if I'm having some veggies, I'm dipping that in some hummus. So that has been the increase of calories that I have had, and I have really met my 1,000 calorie goal. So it's kind of helped balance out everything. I still take in little, but the foods that I take in are very rich in the nutrients and in the calories that I need. So wow, has it been like a flip of everything. I feel good. I feel fine. The injections have not changed really. Before taking Ozempic, regular, not having VSG, it was fine. I didn't run into hardly any issues. There were a couple of headaches here and there. Just really trying to stay hydrated was another issue. But since VSG, again, couple of headaches. I really stay on top of my water, so I haven't noticed any dehydration or any nausea or anything like that. It just feels like I normally did before VSG. The only benefit that I'm getting is that head hunger is definitely gone. I stick to my schedule and I know to do my calorie dense things. So, gosh, it's really interesting, and it's just kind of blowing my mind a little bit because it's like resetting things, and it is helping. This week, since I have started Ozempic, the scale did drop. The scale did drop, and it was not dropping. I was staying between 186 and 189, I think, and it just kept going back and forth and back and forth, and that was just, I almost hate getting on the scale at this point, just because I always felt like it's just gonna teeter-totter for I don't know how long. The scale has went down. I'm not gonna do my final 6-month weigh-in because I'm still in my 6 months, so I haven't actually finished it. So I don't have like the grand total loss in this month, but I can tell you, since I started the medication and started tweaking the way that I'm eating, adding more of the fats, the healthy fats, avocado is another good one, adding healthy fats, higher calories, and pushed myself to definitely meet my 1,000 calorie goal, the scale has decided to move, and I dropped to 184 already, and it's only been a week. Oh, and I did want to talk about my body composition. I don't want to forget that. So my body composition appointment happened that same day. I met with my PA that morning. She was kind of like, okay, so the scale's not moving. I have an assumption that it is your muscle that is still really good, and that hopefully you are still losing body fat. Last visit in June, it said that I still had 84 pounds of fat to lose. And now it's at the end of September, so she wanted to see, okay, like if you have not lost body fat, then there might be some other issues there. But she was thinking it was just my muscle was still very good, and that I had actually lost some fat. So she said that will kind of calm you down a little bit once we see the body fat. If it decreased, you're doing good. You just need a little tweaking to jumpstart that weight loss a little bit more. And hopefully it's just the fact that you are maintaining muscle. So I go back to my appointment later that day. and she runs the whole body comp thing. And it comes up that now I have 75 pounds of fat to lose. So the fat was definitely going down. Fat is breaking down since June to September. And then it also showed that my muscle mass is like staying the same. It's so weird. She compared my arms, they're practically the same as June. My thighs, my legs are the same. There's hardly any movement in those. She did notice that my torso had lost some muscle, and she explained that it's because I carried all my weight in my abdomen. And you can tell in my before and after pictures that I mostly carry my weight in my belly. Now, because that fat is going away, my muscle is also like just not even knowing what to do. So she suggested I start doing planks, and I have started that. Focus on modified planks and core kind of exercises, but not really overdoing it, just engaging the core. So that's kind of what we're doing there. But it was really nice to see that even though that scale is not moving, it clearly did drop down from 84 to 75. And the whole reason might just be because of the muscle not really going anywhere. It's still staying strong. But right now they're not concerned. They just feel that my hormones are really just trying to regulate, that I've hit some type of stall that, yes, is longer than usual, but they feel hopeful about me pushing through it. And if I just stick to this plan, it'll all kind of resolve itself. And I feel that too. It is a little difficult to go through this. You go through surgery and you're thinking, okay, this is just gonna really, I know there's gonna be some work to all of this, but when you have PCOS, you also have to consider that there's gonna be some balancing out with that. It's not going to be like other people's journeys. It's a little more to navigate when you are going through PCOS and you have this. And really, even if you have PCOS, you might not even go through this as drastic as I'm going through it. I am insulin resistant. Some people have PCOS and they're not insulin resistant. So there are different levels of having PCOS, and it affects all of us very differently. So adding VSG on top of that, it could just really kick up some unusual stalls, some unusual ways of getting your body to identify that it needs to lose this weight. And it also needs to correct these hormones. So I just wanted to share where I'm currently at this stage, because it's, like I said, it's fairly new in my mind, and I just keep going through all of these thoughts. And I keep waiting for a perfect opportunity to say the right thing and to say like accurate information that's coming through. And really, I don't have anything. I don't have a definite answer to what is causing this delay in weight loss. And you might come across that. You might have the same exact situation where you just stop and you don't know why. And it happened fairly early in the whole journey. So there you go, you guys. That is everything that has been going on this far. Hold on, I got a TED. Little Teddy Ted. So hopefully that is helpful to you guys. I know I don't have 100% these answers right now, but going in these stages, I really felt like I just got to share it while it's there, while it's natural, while I'm going through these thoughts. And hopefully it's helpful to you guys. I don't know if maybe you are coming across it and think that this is just a stall, and it might not be. It might be something else in your hormones that is just trying to do its thing, and you might need just a little help. And I really hope that there's no shade on here regarding the Ozempic thing. I just have to do what I have to do right now. My body is different than your body. I hit this very early. They don't know why. And I'm just doing the best that I can and with what I have. And so I hope that comes across, that this is just kind of what time it is for me right now. But if you have any questions or you want to know more about how this feels, having to eat on Ozempic while you have BSG, if you want to see what I'm making, just let me know. Let me know in the comments, and I will definitely do like a what I eat in a day while on Ozempic with BSG, or whatever you want to see. A smoothie recipe, I'll do that, because those things are crazy. But they are delicious. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. Please let me know in the comments if you want to see anything else. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and then jump on over to Instagram and be my friend there too. And I will see you in part 2 of month 6, you guys. I will definitely keep you posted on this crazy little journey. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Can you say bye? You get a boot from Ted.